Good evening, everyone. This is our webinar, Why They Buy, on this wonderful Thursday evening. Today is the 8th of June. Holy cow, it's almost the middle of the year. And I am calling from my still not so picked up new office, as you can tell. I'm going to make a commitment to you that by the next time we have our webinar next Thursday, this big box will be gone because that's where my clothes are in. So welcome, everyone. I want to thank you for tuning in. I also want to start with a quick story today, if you will. And it'll be a fun story, just kind of lean back and relax. It's a story of the mother bear that was going to, let's just say, rescue her child of the bug on the ceiling. And the mama bear got up on a rolling office chair to save the bug or save the child from the bug from up on almost on the ceiling. Well, as I said, it is an office chair with rolls on it on a hardwood floor. And before the mama bear could even think, the office chair gave. The rolls just kind of went slick on the hardwood floor, and the mama bear fell. I mean, completely on her left side. And there she laid, nauseous, kind of went out for a second. And fast forward a night after, the mama bear decided to go to the ER to get a cast. End of story. So today I spent most of my day, this is a true story, happened yesterday. Today I spent most of the day at the Atlanta Grady Hospital ER, which is a very interesting and humbling experience, to say the very least. So I kind of, as I was laying there most of the day on a stretch, and my problems were the least of everyone in the trauma center, I really got to think about our webinar this evening. And the webinar this evening is Why They Buy. And this is completely off the topic, but you'll see it's going to come around, so bear with me. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I only have this broken wrist, mostly. I have a splint on here. And I'm grateful that I've got to experience of how good I and our family have it. And I want to encourage you to just to think for a minute, how good in your life do you have it? And what is it that you have? And what is it that you don't have? And why do you not have it? What are you numbing yourself with, literally and virtually, from the pain that you are experiencing? What is keeping you speechless? What are you not ready to hear? What are you not ready to see? And I want to encourage you to really write this down and put it in your journal. If you don't have a journal, put it somewhere on maybe your phone. There's a little notes app. Mine is not so little anymore. There is, different ways that you can capture it. But really, I want to encourage you to, after our webinar today, make a quick note. What is it that you're not seeing, not ready to hear? What is it that you're numbing yourself from? What keeps you speechless? And perhaps, what is your blind spot? And then vice versa, what is it that you are ready to hear? What is it that you are ready to see that to now it was your blind spot, you're becoming aware that this no longer can be your blind spot? And what is it that you've been numbing yourself? What are you suppressing? What are you constantly pushing down and saying, I'm not ready to look at it. I'm not ready to hear it. I'm not ready to see it. I'm not ready to give it a voice. I'm not ready to feel it. All of that. Really take a very close look. So today for our Why They Buy webinar, and I'm grateful for everyone that is on here, and I'm grateful for everyone that is tuning in into the recording, and you can watch this over and over and over and share it with others. Please do so. What is it that I am going for today? Why they buy. So think about, for the ones that were on our webinar last week, I encourage you to look at that if you weren't on, and get the recording. We talked about a few things. We talked about the visual, the kinesthetic, the auditory, and the auto-digital. We've talked about all of that is the four-dimensional communication. We talked about the listening and what is it that you're really listening for. We've talked about the Moravian communication system, which is 7% is words. Only 7% is words. And that's why I invite you on the Zoom call so we can interact with each other, so you can see my body language, so you can see my facial my facial cues, so you can see how I'm interacting with you, and you can also listen for my tonality. So 7% of all that I'm saying, everything that I'm doing, is just the words that I'm using. 38% is the tonality, the up and down, the cadence, the going softer, the going louder, and 55% is the body language. How am I communicating with you? You see, when I have something to say, I'm kind of leaning in. I'm going, hey, listen. So that's just a quick review of the Moravian communication model. But today, why they buy, and you might have thought, you know, as I'm getting ready for this, for you to go on this webinar, well, what does she mean by that? You know, most people think about, how can I sell? How can I bring my idea, my product, my service, whatever my is? You might be, you know, a pastor, preacher, a priest. How do you bring your message across? If you're in sales, how do you bring your sales message across? If you're a parent, how do you bring your parenting message across? What is it that you really want to focus on? Do you want to kind of just vomit on someone and kind of put your idea on them? Or do you first want to understand, how does the person across from me tick? What are their values? So I can understand how to communicate with them. Totally different approach. I know, it's mind-blowing, right? Again, do you see my body language? So how many of you would really like to have this X-ray vision, or this superhero cape, or this special power, or, you know, like I said, this X-ray vision, or this pill? Maybe one of the colors, and we're going to go into that, one of the codes. So how many of you would love to have that? You know, many years ago, I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if I could just look right through people and just kind of read them? How many of you have asked yourself, how can I read someone and kind of figure out how do they tick, and for me to land my message accordingly, not in the way that I think is correct, but in the way that it will land with them. Different concept. I'm going to take these off because they're really, really green. I actually have them in different colors, and I'll go through that here in a second. So what if you could tap into the values of a person that you've just met, or that you've had communication with and a connection with, but you just didn't get kind of connected. You weren't able to build rapport. You just didn't get warm. You kind of felt like, man, I mean, this person's communicating here, and I'm communicating here. And if I had two arms, I would kind of go, you know, opposite and say, we're just not correcting on the same level. But what if you had this X-ray vision? What if you had this special pill to swallow? Now, you know, if you swallow a pill, going back to this one, it kind of takes a while until it kicks in, trust me. I know today. But what if you had something that could teach you and show you within 90 seconds of where that person that you are communicating to, that you want to sell to, but that's really not the goal, to sell them something. You really want to be of value to them. You really want to be of service to them. But you first got to find out, how do they tick and what is their value system? Now, getting to know someone's value system, you can do that. You build rapport, you get to know them, you build rapport, you have small talk, and then you have conversation with them. But that takes time. How many of you realize and have gone through that over and over and over again, that really takes time? But there is something that I have been using and utilizing for a while now, and I want to share that with you. And as I said, there are those 5 steps. So the first step is really getting aware that you really want this X-ray vision, or this superpower, this superhero cape, or whatever you want to call it, or this super pill. That's the first step. In everything that I teach you, and everything that I teach my audience, that I teach my personal clients, that I teach the people that I coach, it starts with the awareness. Why? If you are not aware of what's not working or what you're not doing, how can you change it? It's just not possible, right? So it starts with the awareness. Okay, so having this special power is the awareness that you need this in your life for whatever reason. Again, clients, selling a product or a service, your children, your spouse, your boss, whatever you want it. You can insert anything here. This is not specific to one area or one industry or one area in life. So what if you could ask someone, hey, can you please take a look at this information? And there's a special reason why I put this on a green index card, not a white one. So just bear with me here for a second. So please take a look at this information. If you just ask someone, hey, can you take a look at this information real quick? And then the second step, or actually this is the third step, read the values and sort them in order from the most important to the least important. Will you please read the values and sort them in order from the most important to the least important? Again, there's a science behind the genius of why this is on a blue colored index card. And the 4 steps, you will say, this will help me serve you better. This will help me serve you better. Because we all want to be coming from a place of service and not vomiting on someone and not putting what we think they need, if we don't even find out what is it that they need. But if we are interested in serving them, big key. And last but not least, and it will both save us time. Now, saving time and saving money, everyone wants to do that. Most everyone. But it's the biggest objection. I want to, I'm not doing this because of time or because of money. Or I'm doing this because it saves me time or it saves me money. So again, there's a science behind the genius of why this is on a red index card. So going back to the entire steps, please take a moment to read this information. Read the values and sort them in order from most to least important to you, or whatever resonates with you most to least. This will help me serve you better, and it will both save us time. Actually, in the long run, it will both save us time and money, but you don't want to say that. If you could say that to your client, and your client would say, yeah, sure, but what are the values? Because every person, going back to 400 BC, Hippocrates has put humanity in 4 temperaments. We have been built on values. We have been built on personality types. And if you can crack, putting this in, if I have both hands, I kind of put, this number, put it in air quotation marks, we can crack someone's code. So I'm going to actually put this in a whole different concept, still the same sequence. Please take a look at this information, read the values and sort them in order. This will help me serve you better, and it will both save us time. And then you hand them, and you've probably seen these as I showed them last week on our webinar, hand them these cards where on the back, they have the values of each personality type. It's upside down, sorry. So we have remember, please take a look at the information. The values of the knowledge-driven person, one of the values is information. That's why this is on a green card. The second is read the values and put them in order. The values of the blueprints is order and structure. That is one of the many values of a blueprint personality. And then this will help me serve you better. The nurture-driven person, that is all about serving and community and harmony, that is one of the values. And then last but not least, it will both save us time. The action-driven personality is all about time freedom and money freedom. It's one of the values. So getting to know someone very, very quickly within 90 seconds, and this is not something that I'm saying or anyone else is saying. This is actually something that the University of San Francisco is saying, that you can predict buying behavior within 90 seconds with the value cards, with these value cards, and knowing where the person that you are talking to is operating in, which code, which of the value code they are operating in, and which modality they're coming from. And wouldn't it just be wonderful if you wouldn't have to, kind of guess or assume, because you know the 4 agreements. And if you don't know the 4 agreements, which is a great book by Don Miguel Ruiz, I encourage you to read it, highly encourage you to read it. Don't ever assume, because you can be right, or you can be 3 times wrong. If you are right, that is a quarter of being right, but you're missing out on 3/4. Hello, that's a lot of money that you leave on the table. So get very, very clear on what is it that you want to accomplish when you talk to people. And I just dropped 1 card. There we go. When you talk to a new prospect, or a prospect that you've been trying to crack over the last many weeks or months, and now you have a tool that you can actually do that with. Now, I have used this tool over and over. I've used this tool with the awareness, again, of the Moravian communication model, with my NLP master practice. But most and foremost, this is the quickest way to understand someone and to appreciate the value system that they're coming from. Now, newsflash, we're all 4 within our personality, but there's always 1 or 2 very dominant codes that we operate in. For instance, this might be a total shock to you guys, for everyone that knows me. I'm a very action-driven person. I'm like, ready, fire, aim. Let's go for it. If someone says, hey, let's do this, and I'm going, yeah, let's do that. And then at the very least, I figure out what the big picture is. That's the knowledge. On second place, I'm a very nurturing person. Hello. That's why I stepped on a rolling office chair to get a bug off the ceiling for my daughter. By the way, as I was sitting in the hospital on this hospital stretch bed, whatever it was called, I looked around every person that was working there, the nurses, which were absolutely incredible, the staff was wonderful, the doctors, and I coded them, and I just watched them, and I made a game out of it And as I was talking to them, I cracked their code. And when you're able to do that, and when you have fun doing that, and then you can adapt your communication to the people that you're communicating with, and you see how they react to you and how it makes communication with them so much easier. And you might have a desired outcome. Like I really wanted to get out of there at one point, and they insisted that I would have, x-rays, and I got the x-rays, and then I got more x-rays, and then I got the splint on, and then they wanted to do more x-rays, and then they wanted to do a CAT scan. And at that point, it was like, I don't know, 8 hours in, or something like 8 hours in. I was ready to get out of there. I was really ready to go home and eat something and not have to get surgery on that arm today. And I knew my positive outcome. My positive outcome was to not get under the knife today and to not have a CAT scan today, that could wait till maybe, tomorrow or next week or some other time when this is not as painful as much anymore. And today was a painful day. But I had a positive outcome. I had a desired outcome, and I was aware that I have this desired outcome. How am I going to communicate it so it doesn't come across as, this is what I want and you got to do what I want, but how can I communicate it to the staff there and the nurse that was taking care of me in a way that they would understand and that they can relate to what I'm saying, so they can release me with the correct papers so I can come back and it's not going to affect my insurance or anything else. So knowing that, having the awareness that I need to communicate my desired outcome in a specific way, in a way that not how I am communicating in my dominant code, but to know how is the nurse in this case communicating in his dominant code, and adapting to that has really, really helped me. And understanding the whole situation just by being very aware and alert of their surrounding, of their stress level, of their work, and not making it about me, but making it about them, is what real communication is all about. And I watch people over and over again, and it's all about the messenger, but not the receiver. But it truly, communication, and especially in sales, it is about the receiver and not the messenger. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I thank you for tuning in. I want you to share, and I encourage you to share, and I want you to be aware to share and write down for yourself what is one diamond. I'm not saying nugget. I'm really, I'm really focusing on the word diamond, something that has a lot of facets and that is very sharp and that is very sparkly, perhaps. You share one diamond with me that you got out of today's webinar, and I encourage you to tune in again next Thursday when we will be talking about another topic on communication and why they buy. I am also encouraging, and let me write this down on here. Let's see. Man, it's tough when you only have one hand. And you're so used to using two hands. Boy, you get really grateful. Go to www.mybankcode.com/Hoeferle. www.mybankcode.com/Hoeferle. My last name, Hoeferle. And crack your code, which will actually go through the exact same process that I just took you through. Adapt it, Get it for yourself, get it for your customers, get it for your clients. Memorize it, whatever you want to do. www.mybankcode.com/Hoeferle. For all of my knowledge people that are very information driven, for all of my blueprints that love structure and love to have some order and stability and responsibilities, for all of my nurturers that are all about community and harmony, and for all of my action-driven folks, I say hi to all of you. You're my tribe, that are all about saving time and money and making time and money. I have a special gift for you. All you need to do is shoot me a quick email to, and I'm going to write this down here, and I have a special gift for you. Email me to this email, Brigitta Hoeferle.com. I apologize for the chicken scratch today. BRIGITTA at HOEFERLE.com. Brigitta@Hoeferle.com. And just put in the subject gift webinar and shoot me a quick line. Say, hey, hope you feel better, because I really can use that. Don't feel pity for myself at all. It was my choice to get on this chair. It was my choice to get the bug off the ceiling. It was my choice to do that. It wasn't my choice necessarily to fall, but everything else that I did prior to that, it was my choice. I take full responsibility for it. And there's a bigger lesson in this. I am very, very, very certain of that. And I'm just going to stay present and let this hand and this wrist heal. And I look forward to receiving your emails, Brigitta@Hoeferle.com. Gift webinar, just shoot me a quick email and I will send you your gift. Go to www.mybankcode.com/Hoeferle and you will see these steps that I just took you through, and you will also get to crack your own code, which is cool. And I want to encourage you to just get this bank pass. That's what it's called, the bank pass. And that is online. Or, even better, you can also get these cards. You're welcome to send me a quick email and I can send you those cards, send you a PayPal invoice for $20. Actually, via PayPal with all the shipping and handling, $25. But we can do that, send you an actual set of these cards. So there will be a blueprint, a action, a nurturer, and a knowledge. That's what BANK stands for. Blueprint, action, nurturer, and knowledge. And I can send you one of those. Just shoot me a quick email, Brigitta@Hoeferle.com. Brigitta@Hoeferle.com. And in the subject, just write down bank cards. And in the body, just shoot me a quick email. Hey, Brigitta, I hope you're doing better. And shoot me or send me a set of the bank cards. I have given you the Holy Grail, and now you can crack the code, use it wisely, use it with responsibility. I thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you again next week. Spread the word. Lots of love. Again, I'm going to state my intention again. Next week, this box will be gone. Have a great night, everyone. Ciao.